Well, hello, lovely people. It's Belinda here from Aligned Chiropractic, and I just wanted to jump on and give you some tips and strategies on how you can manage your time during lockdown. I can see that it's probably going to be extended for another few weeks, so I just wanted to touch base with you all and just connect on that level. So I think it's important to really recognize that crisis is change trying to happen, and it's also an opportunity to make change in your life. Now, crisis can come about, financially, it can come about in your business, it can come about in your personal life, it could be evolutionary, it could be in your community, it could be globally. And at the moment, I think I can safely say that crisis is happening on all of those levels for every single one of us. But you know what? How we react to it really makes a difference in our ability to get through this. And we can have one of two approaches. We can be reactionary or reactive. We can recoil from the crisis like a deer, stuck in the headlights, or we can do something that's much more proactive, and we can learn to adapt and change with our environment. And I think one of the biggest things here is having a very positive mental outlook and creating an environment in your life where you can think positively and you can have that positive mindset. There's a lot of fear at the moment, and the fear is raging, and the media feeds the fear. Every time you switch on the television, you're never going to find a good story in there. All you're going to hear about is the death rate of that day, the projections for tomorrow, how long we're going to be in lockdown as a result of us not reaching the peak of this infection, and so on and so forth. So you can get utterly sucked into the whole experience, recoil from it, become isolated mentally as well as physically, and that can create a depressive or a state of anxiety that then is very, very difficult to break out of and very destructive. So what you need to do is be very, very proactive about it. And one of the things that I think has been really, really helpful is using an exercise in gratitude. If you create an attitude of gratitude, it's also going to create abundance in your life. Now, it's really important to wake up every day and just be grateful for the things that you have, or the experiences that you have, or even do it at the end of the day and consider what the day has brought you in terms of miracles and things that you want to be grateful for. So do that, make it an exercise, and think of 5 things you want to do it first thing in the morning, or 5 things at the end of the day that you can be truly thankful for in your life. The other thing too that I have found that's really useful is also using this time, because we've got plenty of it, we've got plenty of time, is to use it as a time for reflection and reflecting on some of the things that you might have done previously, and look at what you might do going forwards and how you might do things differently. So I think that's been a really useful exercise. But also use this opportunity to create a vision for your life and your family going forwards. I mean, more recently, I decided to put this into practice with my kids, and I said, right, kids, we're going to create vision boards. And so we got some big markers, we got a flip chart, we gave them a page each, and I said, now this is what you're going to do. You're going to create a vision for your life and for your future. And they did, and they loved it. And it was, once they got into the flow of it, you couldn't stop them. And it was just very, very insightful for me as a parent to see things that my children had visions about for their life that I had no idea about. For example, little Charles wants to climb Mount Everest. Now, I never knew that. I never knew that. And there was a whole host of other things in there. So that was a really great exercise. And certainly as an adult, creating a vision board is really important. If you want to create that vision to become a reality, you need to write it down, and you need to be able to refer to it on a regular basis. Also, creating some positive affirmations. Write them down on a card. Whatever those affirmations or those things that you need to have reinforced in your life, then write them down and then use them on affirmation cards. I remember doing this when I was planning a home birth with my third child. I was 43 at the time, and there was a lot of negativity out there, and I just wanted to do my thing, and one of the things I did was create those affirmation cards, which I found helped me enormously. So that's a really useful thing to be doing there. So certainly on a mental level, there are tons of things that you can do to maintain a positive outlook. One of the other things that you can do is use meditation. And people say to me, and I guess I've been a little bit like that before, I'm just too busy to quiet my mind, and I'm too busy to sit still long enough to be able to do a meditation. So that was certainly a challenge for me. But you know what? Again, we've got all the time in the world that we can now spend on nourishing our mind and nourishing our spirit, and just being quiet and using this opportunity to create that positive mindset. So I'm going to leave it there as far as how to create that positive mindset. I think one of the things that's always stayed with me throughout my life is a little poem called Desiderata, and I remember my grandmother used to have it on the back of her loo door, and my mother, has done that as well. And I remember reading that every time I was in there, and I'd learnt it off by heart. And it's just always been such a huge comfort for me. And what I'm going to do now is just read out a couple of those things, and just remind you if this is something that you were familiar with, but they're just such comforting words. And these are some extracts from that. So, go placidly amidst the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born out of fatigue and loneliness, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. And whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful and strive to be happy. So I'm signing off for now, and we'll catch up again soon. Bye for now.